Hi, everybody. Welcome to Katie in the Morning. I'm Katie Page, Director of Member Relations at the National Association of Healthcare Assistants. Part of my job is communicating and really keeping in touch with CNAs from all across the nation. I've had the opportunity to talk to and even interview literally hundreds of CNAs in all aspects of our job. And one of the questions that I ask CNAs on a frequent basis is if there is one thing that you could change about the CNA profession, what would it be? And you'd be very surprised to know that the number one answer is not the rate of pay. It is actually the appreciation and recognition that CNAs get on a daily basis, not only from nurses, administration, and management, but from each other as well. When I was doing a little research about this and kind of trying to find some images to bring to you guys, one of the things that I found was this thing right here. And I did not even realize that appreciation had two definitions to it. One would be appreciation, knowing the value of something and appreciating it, somewhere along the lines of, hey, I really appreciate you picking up my two extra people or the two people that I couldn't get to this morning. But the other definition of appreciation is building the value of something. I put money into my bank account and its value began to appreciate or develop. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about that right after this break.
When you have satisfied and content CNAs, the care is better and you're going to have less nursing assistant turnover.
So many times they think they're just, in the trenches and nobody hears, nobody cares about them, and it's not true. It's simply not true. And this organization helps them gain that voice and helps them be heard.
We're awesome, and I'm going to hold my head high and I'm going to ride this magic carpet and I'm going to change the world. That's what NACA did for me.
For more information, visit us online at nacacna.org or call 417-623-6049. Tune in to CNA TV every Friday at 3 p.m. Central Time for long-term care news with Dane Henning.
Welcome back to Katie in the Morning. Today we're talking about appreciating our coworkers in general. I'm not just talking about CNAs, but I'm talking about nurses as well. One of the hardest relationships to develop and maintain is the nurse-CNA relationship. I think nurses see us as a little bit of a power struggle there. And as CNAs, being there, the expert on their care on a daily basis, we have a tendency to challenge our nurses a little bit as well. One of the things that you can do to kind of develop and kind of smooth out that relationship is to go the extra mile. I know we have a lot on our plate on a daily basis: ADLs, showers, meals, walk to dine, getting them to therapy, getting them ready for doctor's appointments if their family's visiting, stopping and visiting with them. But just going that extra mile to ask your nurse, is there anything I can do to help you? Is there any kind of information that you need for your charting? Hey, you're doing a wonderful job can go a long way with our nurses. They have, if you think about it, we have like on a regular basis, or I should say generally, a CNA has 6 to 12 residents to care for in their 8-hour shift. Well, nurses usually have more than one hallway to take care of. So our 6 versus their 12, or our 12 versus their 24. They have doctor's orders, they have phone calls, they have family members come up asking questions, they have CNAs coming up and asking questions, they have the nurse managers talking to them, the DON, the administrator. So they're getting pulled in all different directions. And unfortunately, CNAs often end up being the outlet of their frustration. But the one thing that we need to keep in mind is everybody wants that feeling of understanding. So if a nurse is snapping at you, make sure you're telling them, I understand where you're coming from. I understand your frustration. Is there anything that I can do to help you? When it comes to appreciating fellow CNAs, I'm not talking about like a $50 gift card to Bath and Body Works. I'm not talking about buying pizza for the entire shift. It could be something as simple as, once everybody's up and out to breakfast, lunch, or supper, letting a CNA know on the other hallway, hey, your residents look really good today. I appreciate the fact that you take pride in how your residents look. Or, hey, you cut through those baths like they were nothing, and you did an awesome job. I really appreciate you. Or appreciate the fact that they're there every day. The number one problem with turnover in the scheduling is CNAs doing call-offs or call-ins, depending on what part of the country you're in. In Iowa, we call them call-ins. I noticed in the southern states, they're more called call-offs, which I thought was kind of funny. But anyway, back to subject. Tell the people that you're working with, I appreciate you being here and on time every day. I appreciate you putting in your 110% the time that you're here. Like I said, appreciation can go a really, really long way. Once you show somebody that gratitude and kind of give them that uplifting feeling, that's what they're going to strive for from then on out. Once you kind of get a taste of that glorification, you're hungry for it the rest of the time you're working. I think you guys can probably all agree with me that it feels really, really great when a resident tells you, I appreciate how thorough you are, or you do a really great job, or hey, I haven't had my back rubbed or lotion put on my back for months, or is this something that you guys do here in some cases? Just doing that little extra thing or doing in your regular routine, and your residents come to expect that from you, but they're constantly appreciating it. I know I preached and preached and preached about oral hygiene on Katie in the morning, but that is one of my my go-to spots, and you really don't realize how much they will appreciate the fact of having that clean mouth, the fresh breath, and getting that chance of bacteria growing and going out into their lungs for pneumonia and congestive heart failure and problems with diabetes. When you're eliminating those issues, not only will they appreciate it, but everybody surrounding them will too. The nurses aren't going to have to send them to the hospital. Their families aren't going to have to come visit them. They're not going to have to worry about, did mom get her teeth brushed? Is she going to end up with an infection? Is she getting her cares done right? And the families are definitely good at appreciating CNAs as well. If you are in tune with the resident and you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing and then some, those family members will notice it and they will compliment you on that, especially the difficult families, the ones that are a little hard to please. If you go that extra mile and strive for that appreciation, you're going to get a lot better outcome than you will if you're trying to avoid those families and kind of, skip here and there when they're in the building. I thank you guys all for joining me today, and I will see you right back here tomorrow for Katie in the Morning.